So one of the problems with extraditing, and I've known a couple of guys that have been extradited from the UK, is that if you have to basically go to them and say, look, here's the evidence we have. Like, we've indicted this person. He's a U.S. citizen, or let's say that you have dual citizenship, or you're one of your citizens in some cases. So he broke the law in the United States. We want to extradite him. Here's the evidence, and we'd like him to come over here and have to face prosecution. The problem is that a lot of times they'll say, okay, well, that makes sense. Like, your evidence looks pretty strong. We get it. You did indict him. Sounds like he may have done this. We'll send him over there. The problem is most of the times when it goes awry is when the U.S. comes and says something like, we want to extradite him, and if he's found guilty, we're going to execute him. And they're like, yeah, we're not sending one of our citizens to your country to be executed. So then it's like, okay, well, then we'll take that off the table. Okay, yeah, but if he's found guilty, then he has to get what? Life? Yeah. Yes. So life, based on the evidence that you guys have, we wouldn't give him life for that. So we're also not going to send him there. Damn it. Okay, so you have to start negotiating with them because they're like, our laws are so strict. And I knew one guy that that he had actually come over here. He ran a scam. Like, he was trying to tell us it wasn't a scam. Stop it. It's a scam. Like,
I love how you do that. Stop it.
Yeah, it's no, you don't understand. We did. Okay, the moment you start billing people more than they're supposed to be billed for years, and you guys made an extra $500,000 or $1 million, right? Yeah, but they saw what the bill. Stop. Don't try that shit. Like, you weren't supposed to be billing them the extra $12. You billed them for 5 years. 100,000 people, you guys made X amount of dollars. It was a scam. So, but once it all collapsed, this guy took off. He went to England because he had dual citizenship. So he goes to England. A couple of years later, he brings like one of his kids into the embassy to get, like, you have to give them, like, you have to sign something in the embassy so that they could also be an American, an American. And he went in, and when he went in, they said, hey, by the way, you have a warrant against you from the United States. He was like, what? He said he kind of knew it might have happened, but nobody had ever said anything. It had been years. So they grab him. They let him right back out. And when they let him back out, like, he was in custody because he had to call in once a week. Like, their custody and our custody is way different. So he was like, I was confined to my house and work and grocery shopping and going, bringing my kids to school.
And the golf course.
Yeah, exactly. It was ridiculous. I was like, you're free. He's like, I know, but they call it big keys. But once a week I had to call. I'm like, but you weren't allowed to leave, like England. He's like, well, you could if you called. I was like, what? He's like, well,
wow.
Yeah, they all signed a treaty, right? Whatever the
surrounding
European Union is, like, it's basically their states, right? So anyway, the point is that when they got in front of the judge and they started arguing, they were like, okay, well, these are fraud charges, and we agree you've got some evidence. And they were like, yeah, and this is very serious. He could get 30 years for this. And they were going on, and immediately his lawyer stepped in and went, Your Honor, this is fraud charges for $1 million. They want to give him 30 years. And the judge was like, yeah, well, we're not sending him back there. What are you doing? You're going to give him 30 years? Like,
send him to China.
Like, it backfired on him right away.
Yeah.
Like the U.S. was like, yeah, this is serious. Like, and they thought that meant they go, oh, this is serious. You got to go.
Yeah,
Instead, they went, oh, no, we're not sending one of our citizens to get 30 years for something that over here, if he was found guilty, he'd get 18 months. 9 of which he'd be able to do in his living room on an ankle monitor.
Yeah.
Like, no way. So they had to negotiate, and they negotiated like 24 months. And then he flew over there. He flew over to the U.S., went in for 24 months to the low, met me. That's where I heard the story.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, it's not always, you have to have and it has to be a comparable charge. Like, if they don't have a comparable charge over there, they're like, he did what? He did this and this and this. And they're like, that's not illegal over here.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of countries don't have conspiracy charges. So you're like, no, you don't understand. He did this and this and this, and it's conspiracy. Yeah, but he didn't rob the bank. Yes, but he was in the room when they talked about robbing the bank, and he helped plan it. But he didn't go in the bank. He didn't drive the getaway car. He didn't give them the weapons. He was just in the room talking, saying, oh, yeah, you got to watch out for this. Right. Yeah, it's conspiracy. Yeah, we don't. That's not a thing here. Like, you can be in the room. You can even help out a little bit with
A little bit.
the planning.
Just
Like,
not too much.
this is not a. He didn't pay anything. He didn't make any money just because he was there. Like, to us,
But
you might as well
would
walked in.
But
Yeah.
what would happen to him if he was in China?
Well, in China, they just take them all out back and shoot them in the head.
Execute.